Well, you've been watching it happen pretty much in real time. It took all kinds of arm twisting to come to some kind of a deal to raise the debt ceiling. And with all of the give and take involving Democrats, Republicans, and the White House, who are the winners and losers so far in this thing? Let's talk about it with Ron Bonjean, a Republican strategist. Debbie Dingell is a member of the Democratic National Committee. All right, winners. Debbie, who are your top winners in this?
Top winners, the American people, who now have certainty, are not going to see increased interest on home prices, certainty that hopefully we're going to begin to create jobs. Certainly the president, Mitch McConnell also, and the Democrats on the Hill. We're moving forward, and I think everybody's a winner that we're getting this done. What we got to make sure is that we don't repeat this fall.
Yeah, I might have some disputes with your characterizations there, but I'll toss it to Ron first. Ron, who are your winners?
Yeah, well, I'd say I agree with the American people assessment. They're exhausted by all this. They want to see a resolution. But I think the Republicans really won here because President Obama caved into their demands, and that's because they remained firm in the House. They stayed strong. And the second reason is because President Obama is running a campaign, and independents started walking away from him because he couldn't cut a deal. In fact, only 31% of independents support him, which is amazing. So I think, House Republicans in general were the winners. I think President Obama not necessarily so, although he's trying to moderate himself at this point for a campaign run.
One of our chatters, Debbie, Gwen Goebel-Bartson, says Mr. Obama is the only winner. He kicks the can down the road. There is that perception that a lot of the tough decisions, Debbie, really get punted on this thing.
I'm gonna be honest here and say that I think that people really do need to be concerned, and that members of Congress, the president, presidential candidates of all sides need to understand that the American people are fed up with what they just witnessed. They're tired of seeing this kind of bickering. We should not be coming down to crisis, and it hurts all of us. Now we're going to have budget deadlines on September 30th. You've got a November 23rd deadline, and then none of us wants to, the week before Christmas, be looking at a repeat of this and what we just saw. I think the American people are saying to Democrats and Republicans, figure it out. Don't put us through this again. President Obama, I think, stayed firm, said you can't kick down the road. We got an agreement, but now he's going to lead. I hope we're going to see him lead, and Congress has got to do the same. Come to the table and not have a repeat of what we just saw.
It does seem, Ron, that there's sort of a shell game going on here with, money getting sort of moved and again, the tough decisions getting put off.
Well, what you do see, though, initially is a massive spending cut, which Republicans were demanding. And remember, there are no tax increases in this deal, and that's something President Obama and the Democrats were fighting for, and you're not seeing that.
Yeah.
And yes, there is this commission that's out there, and they're going to have to make spending cuts, or else their own constituencies are going to see triggered spending cuts on defense and Medicare. So I don't see how that's likely to happen.
But Ron,
I think you're going to see a result.
You do have the Bush tax cuts set to sunset in 2013, right? I mean, do you see the expiration of that tax cuts as being a tax increase, and is it likely to happen?
I find it highly unlikely that with this type of unemployment that anyone in Congress or the White House is going to try to raise taxes, and that's why we hope a Republican will take the White House in 2012, because then we're assuredly not going to have tax increases.
Yeah, Debbie.
But I do think the unemployment rate is key here, and the party that can take advantage of that right now in terms of campaigning and translating this debt ceiling message into how does this deal help the economy and how can it help job creation, because we're going to have unemployment numbers come out this Friday that will probably be miserable, and that's what the American people really care about.
It has been pointed out, Debbie, that around the time that this debt ceiling issue really came to public attention, maybe in June or so, the president's approval rating was at 50%. Now it is at 40%. It's the lowest of his presidency. Is that a reflection on the job the American people think he's done throughout all of this?
I think it's a reflection. I think if you were to do polling of what American people think of anybody right now that's in elected office, the numbers would be lower than that, and the president's would be at the high point. And another point that I want to make is that Republicans and Democrats alike know they have to reduce the deficit. The president wanted to do a big program, wanted to do more than we are doing now, and is still pushing to get that done. But he also knew that we needed certainty. And one of the big dangers that we have right now is how do we cut the deficit without already scaring a scared economy? How do you continue to create jobs? It tries to give this certainty but begin to make the cuts in 2013 so it doesn't hurt a rebounding economy. This is very dangerous, sensitive stuff.
Well, and a lot of people aren't sure that it's a rebounding economy, but that's for another discussion, I guess. Debbie Dingell.
It's true.
Yeah, Ron Bonjean, thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Well, on that comment about the economy, let's take a look at the markets now. A Fox News alert on what we're seeing here on this Monday. Down 117 points on the Dow here. The headline really has more to do with some weakness we're seeing in the manufacturing sector. A new reading today that spooked the markets. Of course, this debt deal, potential debt deal, also a factor here, but maybe not the factor in the market today. In fact, we have some breaking news from Brett Baer on where we are with that deal in just a moment. Plus, also just ahead, today's must-see moment where you get to choose the news. Will it be a bear causing a commotion, a car crashing into a medical building, or a liquor store robbery? Some good choices there. Today's winner.